Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and this is part two of Prison Environment, why people get out of prison and go back to the criminal lifestyle. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about some things that you can do or the things that you can tell your loved ones that they need to be focused on to help them become the better version of themselves, even in the midst of this dark place, right? Prison is a dark place. Don't forget that. You know what I mean? But there can be light in this place, okay? If you want that, you got to focus on that, right? So before I get into the things that I do, let me share a story with you about what a friend of mine told me that he does to help him focus on, getting through his day, right? He walks around the compound pretty much, taking care of his business, doing his job. He's a barber, but what he does sometimes is when an officer says something to him out of the way, he cracks the jokes and he gets the officer to laugh at him, right? So in the midst of that officer laughing, that officer looks at him and sees him. He has to identify with that humanity, right, for that laugh to come out, right? So that's one of the tactics, the tricks or coping mechanisms, I'm going to say, that he uses to get through his day, right? But that may not work for everybody. Everybody doesn't have that type of sense of humor or timing to be able to do that, right? So one of the things that I do, I try to stay focused on respecting everybody that comes in front of me, whether it's an inmate or an officer, right? I show respect to everybody. Now, I keep in mind that that same respect may not be returned to me, but my focus is on serving the Most High, okay? And that's the lane that I'm in. That's something that I didn't talk about in the first part of this series, but I'm going to talk about in this one. Stand in that lane where you serve the Most High, not attending church. I'm not talking about attending a service, all right? Because most people tend to, when they go to the service, they're good for that day or that hour, right? I'm talking about serving the Most High in everything that I do, right? Whether it's my job. I don't clean up at my job because I want to please my supervisor, which I do. I want my supervisor to be satisfied with my work. But I don't do it just for that. I do it because I want God to be pleased with me serving him by me being obedient, right? I follow the rules around here, not because I'm afraid of the administration or anything like that, because I want God to be pleased with me. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get in that lane, it's almost like you're in a bubble, so to speak, that protects you from all the other stuff that's going on. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't lose fact that I'm in prison. I don't drift away from that. I'm still aware of my surroundings. I'm still aware that because I'm walking like this and talking like this and living like this, that everybody's not going to appreciate this. Everybody's not going to like it. I get the stares. I get people looking at me, people in blue and gray. And when I say in gray, I mean the administration. When I say blue, I mean people in prison, right? Everybody don't like the way I move, and I understand that. But I stay focused on pleasing the Most High and not necessarily them. You understand what I'm saying? And that has helped me throughout the years. Now, if you have a loved one that is incarcerated and they're struggling, trying to figure out where they're going to position themselves so they can survive this environment, you have to talk to them about what is it that they believe. Are they a believer at all? You know what I mean? And if they are, tell them to focus more on pleasing the Most High as opposed to their cellmate, as opposed to the gang member that might come to them and ask them to join, as opposed to the supervisor that might want them to do something they don't have any business doing. You have to get them to focus on pleasing the Most High, because as long as you stay focused on pleasing the Most High, then everything else will fall in place. That does not mean that you won't have ups and downs. That's not what that means at all. You will. But because of your focus on the Most High, you will be able to sustain and move through those things that might cause you to be sad sometime or down sometimes, okay? So that's what I want everybody to understand about this prison environment. There is a way to survive it. There is a way to survive it, and that way is to focus on pleasing the Most High and not anybody else. Everybody else will fall in line. Everybody else will fall in line, and you'll be okay. And that gives you time to start to address and work on the things that brought you to prison in the first place. See? You focus on those things about yourself that brought you to prison in the first place. That flawed thinking, that selfish thinking, that instant gratification, want what you want when you want it without working for it. All of those types of things. Then you have time to work on that. All right? Just thought I'd give you something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Something that you can pass on to your loved one in prison. Or if you are incarcerated and you're fortunate enough to be listening to this, then think about what I'm saying. Just give it a try. I mean, what do you have to lose? That's all I like that people understand. What do you have to lose when you think about the things that I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? But look here. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Yeah, it's me. It's your boy. And I'm out. Peace.